Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today it's She-Hulk Aggression versus Expert Wrecking Crew. So pull up a chair and let's see who wins. Okay, so I've already shuffled all of the decks. The encounter decks are back here. They're shuffled. Her deck is shuffled, and I've already drawn up her starting hand of 6. I got Mockingbird, Helicarrier, Energy, Combat Training, Endurance, and Focused Rage. And so that's what I drew, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep that hand. So we'll go ahead and start with her first turn. And so I think what I want to do is I definitely want to get combat training in order to beef up her attack. So I'm going to put in combat training and spend the energy in order to do that. And then I hate to get rid of Endurance and Mockingbird and Helicarrier. These are all 4 cards I want, but on her hero side, as many of you may know, She-Hulk only has a hand size of 4, so I'm going to go ahead and put in Focused Rage. I do have other copies of Helicarrier. This is actually only a copy of Endurance, but she has 15 hit points, so maybe that won't be an issue. But I'm going to put in Focused Rage. I'm going to pay these 3 resources to do it. And then I'm going to flip to She-Hulk, and so when I do that, I get to deal 2 damage to anybody. And I think what I want to do is I'm going to deal the 2 damage to Pile Driver because he has Retaliate 1. And so and since that's not an attack, I can hit him without him retaliating back. So I'm going to drop him from 14 to 12. Plus, he has his side scheme makes you discard an upgrade or support, the most expensive one out. And so that would be Focused Rage. So I don't, if I can beat him first, that would be great. If not, I don't really know. Actually, Thunderball, his side scheme, stuns all the heroes. And I don't want her to be stunned because most of her damage comes from her identity card. So those are probably the 2 I want to get rid of first. But actually, I think Thunderball may be the first one that I want to get rid of. And he has 16 health. So I'm going to attack for 4 with her, 3 from her identity card, 1 from combat training. And I'm going to go ahead and attack Thunderball for 4, bringing him from 16 down to 2. And so that'll be it for her turn. She'll ready. Draw 4 cards. I got Hulk, another Helicarrier, Strength, and Superhuman Strength. Okay? So, villain phase. Start the villain phase. Put 1 on there. And when you put 1 on breakout, you have to put 1 on all the side schemes in place. So, Wrecker's side scheme goes up to 7. Thunderball goes up to 6, Bulldozer goes up to 5, and Pile Driver goes up to 4. All right, and Wrecker is still going to be the highest, so he's going to be the active villain. So he's going to attack for 3, and if it isn't defended, it gets +2. I'm not going to defend because she has, 15 health. So it's going to be 3. It's going to be 3. 4, 5, and then the boost is going to be 2, so she's going to take 7 damage, almost half her health right away. So she'll go down from 15 down to 7. But I'm not real worried about that because one of the things about the Wrecking Crew is when they scheme, they put threat on their side scheme, not on the main scheme. So I feel like with She-Hulk, I'm going to be able to turn back to Jennifer Walters and heal up, hopefully, quite a bit in the game. Normally, against villains, I can't really do that. I feel like when I'm playing solo, I have to stay in hero form as much as I can, because when they scheme, it goes on the main scheme, and when I'm in alter ego form, it just seems like when they scheme, threat either I end up all of a sudden losing or I fall behind. So I try to have to stay in hero form. But with the Wrecking Crew, since they put it on their side scheme, I don't think I would lose going in alter ego. So even though she's already down to 7 hit points, I think I'm okay. And I'll probably actually flip back to Jennifer Walters on her next turn. But anyway, so now we got to draw the encounter card. It will come from his deck. And it's Mystical Link. When revealed, place 2 threat on each side scheme. So he's going to go from 7 to 9. So he's already almost about to go off on his. And then he'll go from 6 to 8. And then bulldozers will go from 5 to 7. And pile driver will go from 4 to 6. So right off the bat, they're all creeping up on their side schemes. And so I probably will flip to Jennifer Walters on my next turn, which means more than likely records will go off, which means it's going to take 2 damage to each friendly character. But I don't know. We'll see. It's my turn now. So I have 4 cards. I've got Hulk, Helicarrier, Strength, and Superhuman Strength. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and exhaust Focus Rage and take a damage to draw a card. So she's going to go from 7 to 6. And she gets Power of Aggression. That's good. I think I'm going to use that Power of Aggression to put Hulk into play. And then I'm going to use Strength. I'm going to use Strength to put Superhuman Strength into play. So that'll go over here. And that'll leave me with Helicarrier. I'll just hold on to that. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have She-Hulk attack for 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to have her attack Thunderball. So dropping him from 12 to 6. Okay, and so that will discard Superhuman Strength. And it will stun Thunderball, but it may not matter. He may be dead before he even gets a chance to activate, if he ever gets to activate. But anyway, so that's 6 damage to him. Then I'm going to have Hulk hit him for 3, dropping him down to 3. And then, of course, I got to discard the top card of my deck for Hulk, and that is going to be a mental resource, so Hulk's going to leave the game. So that's unfortunate. That's not what I wanted to happen. But it is, and so I will go ahead and have She-Hulk flip to Jennifer Walters' side. And I'll ready up. And I'll draw up to 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got Ground Stomp, 1-2 Punch, Enrage, Tigra, Tenacity, and Helicarrier. All right. So now it's the villain's turn, and I think he's going to end up scheming. It's going to go off anyway. So I'm just going to object to putting the threat on breakout. And so that means Wrecker's side scheme will go up to 10. Let me to put the other ones on. He'll go up to 9. This will go up to 8. And Pile Driver will go up to 7. Now, in my last game that I played, I wasn't sure what happened here. I wasn't sure if the scheme went off, the side scheme went off, before you look to see who is the active villain. And I looked on BGG, and this is what I think happens. When you do a forced response, like is on the main scheme, you have to do it 1 sentence at a time. And the first sentence says, after step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 threat on each side scheme. So you stop and do that. You place a threat on each one. And then each of the side schemes also have a forced response. And that says after threat is placed here, if there is 10 or more, you do the bad thing and then remove all but 3 threat. And so I think what happens is you put the 1 threat on each one of the side schemes, and in this case, Wrecker's side scheme has 10, so it's gonna it triggers. It's gonna go ahead and do its bad thing to She-Hulk, and then all the threat will come off, and then you finish resolving the threat on the main scheme. And so I saw that on BGG. And I'll try to remember to put a link to that thread down below in the description, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And you can go on to that thread and read it for yourself. But that's how I'm going to play it. So it's at 10. And when his gets to 10, it deals 2 damage to each friendly character. So she's going to go from 6 to 4. So she's hurting. And so all but 3 will come off of that. Okay, and so that means now the active villain marker, when we finish off the main scheme, that's going to move to Thunderball because he now has 9. Yes, so Thunderball is going to be the active villain. And so, all right, so now it's the attack phase. Well, actually, he's not going to attack because she's in alter ego form. He's going to scheme, so that's going to be for 3. And the boost is, there's no boost. So it's just a scheme of 3. And that's 8. And that's going to be enough to make it trigger. Because that's going to put it up to 6 and 5 is 11. So it's going to put up to 12. So his will go off. And so you stun each friendly character. So now She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters or whatever, is going to be stunned. And his will drop to 3. So he did get a chance to activate before he dies. He's only got 3 health left. And he stunned She-Hulk, which is exactly what I didn't want to have happen because, like I said, a lot of her damage comes from her identity card. But that's the case. Okay, well, that was just scheming. Now the encounter card. Radioactive buildup. Attached to Thunderball, excess damage dealt by Thunderball is placed as threat on his corresponding side scheme. After Thunderball attacks, discard this card. So he gets +3 attack, but he's not going to get to do that next time because if he does attack, he's stunned. But actually, he's not going to be the active villain next time because he's low on his side scheme's low on threat. Okay, so now finally her turn again, and the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is heal Jennifer Walters, bringing her back up to 9. So from 4 to 9. All right, let's see. Do I want to flip? Well, I definitely want to flip. Okay, so I'm going to flip and okay, I'm going to put in Tigra and I'm going to use these 3 resources to pay for it. So that'll bring her into play. And so she'll have an attack of 2. I'm going to deal a damage. I'm going to exhaust Focus Rage and deal a damage to She-Hulk. Bring her down to 8. And draw a card. And it's Uppercut. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Uppercut to bring in Enraged and Enraged Tigra. So now her attacks will do +2. But she'll take +1 consequential damage. But that's okay because now I'm going to use Tigra to attack for 4. And to go ahead and kill Thunderball. Or I guess knock him out. I guess you don't want to say kill it. But knock him out. So he's done. So all his side scheme will go off. And when a villain gets defeated, it goes to the villain with the highest threat, which is going to be Bulldozer. So now Bulldozer will be the active villain. And so she comes in with 3, but because she attacked, she's going to take +1 consequential damage plus the normal, so she's going to go drop down to 1. Okay, I have forgotten to deal the 2 damage when I flip from Jennifer Walters over to She-Hulk. So I'm going to deal that damage to Pile Driver. That's probably what I would have done anyway. So that's her turn, already up. So she's still stunned. She'll draw up to 4. 1-2 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And villain phase. 1 there. 1 there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 there. And Pile Driver will take 1. Okay, so no schemes go off, but Bulldozer has 9, and he is the active villain now. So he's going to attack for 3, and his attack does overkill. So So I really need to get that stun off of her. So I don't really want to defend. So I'm just going to take it and see what happens. So he'll attack. I'm not going to have Tigra defend because I don't really want her to die yet. So he's going to attack for 3. And there's no boost, so that's good. So it's just an attack of 3. So she'll go from 8 to 5. And let's see. So now it's the encounter phase. Bull Rush, and she's in hero form. Bulldozer attacks you. Discard the top card of your deck for each damage dealt by this attack. So this could be ugly. This could actually kill her. I think I'm going to have to defend with Tigra. I could lose the game right here if I don't. So it's going to be for 3, 4, 5. And so it'll take out Tigra for 1. So she'll get discarded along with Enraged. And then it'll deal 4 damage to She-Hulk, bringing her down to 1. Wow, that was rough. And let's see. So I got to discard the top card of my deck for each damage dealt, which was 5. So discard the top 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Wow, that was rough. That was a rough turn. Okay, She-Hulk's turn. Well, I'm definitely going to have to flip this time to heal. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. So, and I got 4 cards that really aren't going to do me any good in alter ego form. But I'm going to go ahead and flip so that she can heal for 5. So she's going back up to 6. And then I'll hold on to the 2 1-2 punches. I'm going to discard these 2, chase them downs. And I'll draw up to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And good, I got an ally. But I got 3 1-2 punches. Hopefully I can use those next turn. We'll see. But that's it for her turn. And I won't be able to use him next turn because she's still stunned. That's why I wanted to get rid of him before he stunned me, but that's what happened. So, all right. So, yeah, I have 6. Okay, so place 1 threat here, 1 here. And his is going to go off, so I just won't put 1 there. And see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that he's going to go up to 9. All right, so Pile Driver is at 9. Wreckers is at 5. And Bulldozers is at 10. So his will go off, which means that I got to discard the top 10 cards of my deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that empties my deck, so I got to draw an encounter card, and it's going to come from him. I got to deal myself an encounter card. I'll shuffle that in my next turn. So everything drops to 3. And that means that Pile Driver will become the active villain because we put 1 threat on everything. His went off. And so now we finished the rest of this, and that means Pile Driver goes because his is at 9. Okay, so now Pile Driver is going to scheme, which his scheme is going to go off because there's 9 on there and he has a scheme of 2. But I'm going to draw the boost anyway, and it is a boost of 1. So that's 3. It'll go up to 10. I'm not going to put the 1 on it. It's going to go off. So I discard the upgrader support with the highest cost. That's Focused Rage. And by the way, I did go ahead off camera and reshuffle the deck because I knew it was going to go off and Focused Rage should be at the top. So anyway, so I had to discard that. Now this drops down to 3. So he schemed, and now I'm going to deal myself a second encounter card. And this one says, in Alter Ego, the villain whose side scheme has the most threat schemes. Okay, and that is going to be Wrecker. He has the most threat on his now. So he's going to scheme for 3, 4, 5. So I'll put 5 on there, and that's going to 8, 9, 10. That's going to bring it to 10. So that means his is going to go off, and when that happens, you deal 2 damage to each friendly character. So She-Hulk's going to go from 6 to 4, and his scheme will go back down to 3. So they're scheming all over the place. All right, that's it with that one. Now the second one, oversized hands. When revealed, discard the support you control with the highest cost, which is going to be combat training. If no support was discarded this way, place 2 threat on the active villain scheme. Well, it was. So unfortunately, I lost the combat training. I do have more in the deck, but that hurts. Oh man, she's not doing well. I mean, I've got 1 villain out of the way, but 2 of them have full health, and he's close, and she's lost 2 upgrades. All right, her turn. So I got 6 cards, and she's at 4 health. I'm going to go ahead. I think I got to do it. I'm going to heal her for 5 to bring her back up to 9. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip her and do the 2 damage. The stun doesn't stop this because her 2 damage isn't an attack. So it would bring him down to 8. And they're all at all of their schemes are at 3. So none of them were in any danger of going off. I guess that's good. And let's see. I could use an uppercut to get rid of that stun, but that kind of feels like a waste. I'm going to put in Hellcat, and I'm going to use these 3 resources to do it. And I'm going to have her go ahead and thwart for 2 to drop the main scheme back down to 1, so at least that won't go off on me. And I can't do anything really with these 1-2 punches, so I'm going to stop, ready these 2, and she comes in with 3, and she drops down to 2 because she thwarted. And I'll drop to 4. Okay. So, villain phase. Put 1 there, and then you got to put 1 on each one of the schemes. They're all going to be at 4. And since they're all tied, I can decide who goes, and I think I'm going to just leave it at pile driver, because Wrecker, if you don't defend, is +2 damage. Bulldozer does overkill. His just is a regular straight up attack. So I'm just going to leave it over here with pile driver. So he'll attack with 3. And I think I will. Well, She-Hulk's in okay situation, okay health, but I don't want to use Hellcat to defend yet. I'm just going to have She-Hulk take it. So it's 3 with a boost of 2, so 5 damage. So she's going to drop down to 4. Okay. And then the encounter card will come from him. And she is in hero form. Pile driver attacks you. If pile driver is tough, he gets +2 attack for this activation. So he's going to get to attack again. And he isn't tough, but I am going to throw Hellcat in front of this one. So an attack of 3. And a boost, discard a support you control. She doesn't have 1 anymore because he got rid of all of them. So Hellcat is gone. All right, that's the end of the villain turn. So, She-Hulk. And I have, again, 2 1-2 punches, power of aggression, and a genius. Can't do anything with those right now because she won't be able to attack. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and knock the attack off. I'm going to go ahead and attack, so I knock off the stun and just get rid of it. And that's one of the things that's tough about She-Hulk. If she gets stunned, it's hard to do anything because a lot of her damage comes from her identity card. But now that stun is gone, and Thunderball isn't here to stun us anymore. but I've got 4 cards I can't do anything with. I'm going to go ahead and flip her because their schemes are all pretty low and I don't want her taking any more damage. So I'm going to flip her to Jennifer Walters. And let's see. I'm going to discard Power of Aggression. Hold on to these 1-2 punches, so hopefully I can get to use them next turn. Draw back up to 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it looks like I got a decent hand going in. I got Split Personality, Uppercut, Lockjaw, and you know the other 3. Okay, I'm going to object to this, but I'll put one on each one of the side schemes. And then once again, they all have 5, so I'm just going to leave it at Pile Driver because he only schemes for 2. I guess they all only scheme for 2. I'll just leave it with Pile Driver. So he's going to scheme for 2, 3, 4. So he'll go from 5 to 9. And it might be good. I guess it's kind of good to leave it there because his side scheme just discards upgrades and she doesn't have any. So I might not worry about trying to take threat off of that. But anyway, so that goes up to 9. So he schemed, and now the encounter card. You are confused. If you were already confused, Pile Driver schemes. So Jennifer Walters is confused, so she won't be doing any threat removal. Okay, I had forgotten to ready Jennifer Walters at the end of my last turn, so I did that. So new turn. And I think I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Do I want to... She's at 4 health. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and heal for 5 to bring her back up to 9. Okay. And then I'm going to flip. And I'll do that 2 damage. Let's see. I've been doing it to Pile Driver, but he's going to scheme next time. His is probably going to go off. That's not going to hurt me now, but later it will. I want to get these 2 guys out of the way. And I'm tired of Wrecker. His side scheme does 2 damage. And I'm tired of taking damage. So I'm going to do the 2 damage from the flip to him, dropping him down to 16. And then, let's see here. I'm going to do a uppercut. I'm going to spend Genius and Lockjaw to do that. So that's going to be 5 damage. I'm going to deal it to Wrecker, so I'll drop him down to 11. All right, and I have these cards left, and I don't want to get rid of any of them. So I want to be able to use Split Personality next time, actually. So I'm going to hold on. I'm just going to hold on to these and draw up. I'm going to ready her and draw up to 1. And I got a Gamma Slam, which would come in pretty handy right now. But all right, so that's her turn. So the villain phase, put 1 on everybody's scheme. And his Pile Drivers will go off. But I don't have any upgrades or support, so it'll just drop down to 3, won't do anything. So that's good. But the active marker will move. He's got 3, 4, 6. They both have 6. And they both are going to attack for quite a bit. I'll just have Bulldozer, I guess, be the active villain. Let's see. I'm not going to defend. So he's going to attack for 3. And the boost, if this attack is undefended, discard an upgrade you control, which I don't have one. So that's good. So it's just an attack of 3, dropping her down to 6. And then the encounter card. Discard the top X cards of your deck where X is Bulldozer's attack. Plus, place 1 threat on Bulldozer's side scheme for each different card type discarded this way. So his attack is 3. So I have to discard 3 cards. Enraged, Tigra, and superhuman strength. And so, place 1 threat on his side scheme for each different card type. Discard this way. There's only 2 different card types, an ally and upgrade. So I'll place 2 threat on that. That's going to bring it from 6 to 8. All right, that's the encounter phase. So it's going to be her turn. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack with She-Hulk for 3. And I'm going to attack Wrecker, drop him down to 8. And then I'm going to play 1-2 punch, and I'm going to use Gamma Slam to pay for that, to ready her. And I'm going to attack again for 3, dropping him down to 5. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and do the other 1-2 punch, use split personality, pay for it to ready her again. And I'm going to attack for another 3 onto Wrecker, dropping him down to 2. And I know I got rid of some good cards there, but I think that's what I want to do. And I'm going to flip to Jennifer Walters so that she can heal up next turn. So I'm going to draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's see what I get for next turn. Combat Training Helicarrier, Legal Practice, Ground Stomp. Oh, Hulk's back in my hand. That's good. Maybe he can help me and won't disappear this time. Ready Jennifer Walters. And that's it. Now, I'm going to use, I object is not a thwart, so I don't have to, I can use her ability, even though she's confused. And so I will object to putting 1 scheme here. So, so I'll place 1 here. That's going to bring it from 6 to 7. And his is going to go up from 8 to 9. And pile drivers will go up to 4. And so the active villain, the one with the most, is still Bulldozer. He's still got the most. So he's going to be scheming. His will go off because there's 9 on there, but he schemes for 2, 3. And I'm not going to bother putting it on there, so I got to discard the top 10 cards in my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That hurts a little, but I think I'd rather have that happen than get attacked. So his will drop down to 3. And then the encounter card, because he's still the active villain, it is an attachment. Attached to Bulldozer. So I'll attach that to Bulldozer. Okay, her turn. And she's in Jennifer Walters form. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and heal for 5 to bring her back up to 11. And I'm going to put in Hulk using the power of aggression. And I think before I flip her, no, I'm going to go ahead and flip her to deal 2 damage to Wrecker, and that will knock him out of the game. Okay. And then I'm going to spend these 2 resources to put a combat training back into play. Hopefully I get to use that at some point. And with Hulk, I'm going to go ahead and attack with Hulk for 3. And I'm going to attack Bulldozer, drop him from 15 to 12. Discard the top card of my deck. And it is a fist resource, so that's 2. I'm going to go ahead and do it to him. And Hulk comes into play with 5 health, but he takes the consequential damage, so it's going to be 4. And with 1 card, that's it. So ready, everybody? Ready, She-Hulk and Hulk. Draw back up to 4. Okay. And it's the villain phase. So this is going to go from 3 to 4. I got to do something about that soon. His is going to, Bulldozers will go to 4. His will go to 5. So now Pile Driver is the new active villain because his scheme has 5 on it. His side scheme has 5. So he's going to attack She-Hulk, and with 11 health, I'm just going to take it. I'm glad that moved over because if Bulldozer would have attacked, I would have had to defend with Hulk, and now I don't have to worry about it. So his attack will be 3. I'm just going to undefended 3, 4. So she'll go down to 7. Okay, and then the villain, the encounter phase, it is a minion. So I have to move stuff back a little bit and make room for that minion. And he surges. And it is going to be a guard. So now I have 2 minions in front of me. And one of them is a guard. So I can't do anything until I get that guard out of the way, but that's okay. Hulk can take him out. All right. And maybe I can ignore that escape convict because I've only got 2 people left. One has 10 health, one has 8. So I'm getting close. So it's going to be her turn. And the first thing I'm going to do is just have Hulk take out this guard. So we'll do that. Discard the top card. And it is going to be a strength resource. So I'm going to deal 2 damage. And I'll just deal it to Pile Driver. Drop him down to... No, I'll deal it to Bulldozer. Drop him from 10 to 8. And so then Hulk will go to 3 health. And then I'll have She-Hulk attack Bulldozer for 4, dropping Bulldozer down to 4 from 8 to 4. And then I'm going to have her use an uppercut using the final 3 resources that she has to pay for that. And I'm going to deal 5 damage to Bulldozer and knock him out of the game. So, good. Bulldozer's gone. Now all we have left is Pile Driver. And I still have an ally. And I'm still confused, but she hasn't been thwarting or anything. Okay, so let's see here. I think I'll go ahead and have her flip to Jennifer Walters before I draw up. And so we're ready. Okay. And she will draw up to 6, so that's 2. Have to deal myself in a counter card from Pile Driver. He's the only one left. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got Power of Aggression, Superhuman Strength, Energy, Endurance, Focused Rage, and Helicarrier. I'm hoping I can win on my next turn, but it's going to be close. Because it's the villain phase, I'm going to have to object to that. Because if I don't, it's going to go to 4, or it's going to go to 5, and he'll scheme, put it at 6, and I'll lose. So I'm going to object to the main scheme. And again, I can do that because her ability is not a thwart ability. It's when a threat would be placed. And I think that's right. If I've been wrong about that, let me know. But she's not thwarting, she's preventing thwart. And it's not a thwart ability. So anyway, I'm going to prevent it there, put 1 on Pile Driver. Okay, so Pile Driver will scheme for 2. Plus 2 is 4. So that's going to bring it from 6 to 10. So it will go off. And that will cause her to lose her combat training again, upgrade. Dropping it down to 3. That's okay. I still think I can win on my next turn. But we'll see. And then the minion will scheme for 1. But that's going to go on the main scheme, bring it up to 5. All right, encounter card phase. Please don't be a card that puts threat on the main scheme. And I actually have 2 of them I've got to deal with. The first one, when revealed, remove each stun and confused status card from each villain. If no status cards are removed this way, this card gains Surge. So, Surge. Choose the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. Reveal the top card of his deck. Okay, so I got to reveal the top card of Pile Driver's deck. You are confused. If you are already confused, Pile Driver schemes. So I'm already confused. I got to put an acceleration token on the main scheme because his deck ran out. Okay. So now there's an acceleration token. Let me shuffle his deck. All right, his deck has been reshuffled. It shouldn't go off, but anyway, a scheme of 2. And move the active counter to the villain whose side scheme has the least, so that's his. So he'll go from 3 to 5. His side scheme goes from 3 to 5. All right, and then the other encounter card that was drawn, the active villain gains 3 hit points. Give that villain a tough status card. Great. So now he's up to 11. That is not good, because I don't know if I have enough damage now. And he has a tough status card. All right, and this has got 5 on it, and it has an acceleration token. Okay. So it is going to be her turn. All right. I'm going to go ahead and flip to She-Hulk. Use the 2 damage to knock off this tough. And I'm just going to have to see if I can kill him this turn. I do have a superhuman strength. I'm going to put that in with an energy use the 2 resources here. So that'll give her an attack of 5. And I'm going to put in I don't think I'm going to have enough damage to do it, because she'll do 5 damage, he'll do 3. That's only 8, bringing him down to 3. And she can't thwart, and Hulk can't thwart. So I don't think I can win. Well, let's play it out. She'll do 5 damage to him, dropping him from 11 to 6. And she'll take a point of damage for Retaliate 1, because that's what he has a Retaliate 1. And then Hulk will attack for 3 to knock him down to 3, and it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Discard the card, and it's an energy, so everybody takes the damage, so he'll go to 2. He'll go to 1. She'll go to 5. He'll go to 2. And then I'll take his consequential damage, dropping him down to 1. And I just don't have any attacks. I need to do 2 damage somehow, and I don't have it. I do have a focused rage, but I don't think that's going to do me any good. I'll put it in using these 3 resources. I'll deal her a damage and exhaust focused rage to draw a card. Chase him down. That's not going to do any damage. So it looks like I'm going to lose. Already up. Draw up to 4. And then at the start of the villain phase, I actually put 2 on here, and that's going to bring it up to 7. So I'm going to lose. They break out of prison. Actually, Pile Driver breaks out of prison. He's beaten, he's bruised, he's battered, but he makes it out. And She-Hulk fails. And so that's the game. I would have won that last turn if the card drawn wouldn't have, if this encounter card, I've been waiting for this. If that would have been drawn to give him those 3 hit points and the tough status card, I would have won the game. But that's how it works. I mean, that's what happens. It came out, and he healed up just enough to survive. And, you know, She-Hulk did the best she could, but I don't really do real well with She-Hulk in solo. Because as you saw in this game, when she gets stunned, I have a hard time dealing damage with her. I mean, I thought being able to flip back and forth would help, but it just wasn't enough in this game. And so there it is. There's 3 levels of difficulty for the Wrecking Crew. Normal is the A side of each one of the members of the Wrecking Crew. And then Expert is the B side for each one of the members. And then there's an Extreme Challenge where you put the A side on top of the B side. And then when you defeat the A side of each one of the Wrecking Crew members, you have to then defeat the B side, similar to what you have to do against other villains. And so I've done Normal and Expert, and I am going to do a game against the Wrecking Crew on Extreme Challenge. I'm not going to use She-Hulk. I'll probably use another hero. But so that's going to come later. So if you enjoyed what you've seen here, if you enjoyed the playthrough, like and subscribe. And if you want to know whenever that playthrough comes out against the Extreme Challenge Wrecking Crew, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you'll know when that's out. And until then, thank you for watching and have a great day.